Okay, I'm not really sure how we start off a travel vlog. Usually I'd assume it'd be when you actually start traveling, but it's currently Thursday afternoon before we fly out on Friday morning at 12:15, so pretty much Thursday night. I'm about to head on my last threshold session before we fly to Japan, to Osaka, to run the marathon with Mizuno as part of the ONIHAYAI tour. Biggest opportunity of my social media sporting career. Couldn't be more excited. So I thought we'd run through this first little section of travel, which will be my last little tune-up session. We'll go through the stuff that I've got packed, some of the kit that Mizuno have very kindly sent over, and then eventually getting on the plane and flying over, ending as we get there sometime tomorrow on Friday. The taper so far has been going well, or as I would expect a taper to go. It's kind of got that kind of usual inconsistency where my legs sometimes feel very good, sometimes feel not so good. But yeah, I'm starting to get used to that feeling. I think overall, we're on for a pretty good race, good time so far. I think the training's been good. And I think the recovery's been pretty decent as well. We're going to start my carb load on Friday, ready for the Monday race. And yeah, just overall, extremely excited for this opportunity. Easily going to be one of the biggest, probably going to be the biggest opportunity that I get as part of this social media gig in the 2 years that it's been so far. So yeah, just honestly stoked, very, very grateful. So yeah, I want to do my due diligence and make sure that I vlog all of this for memories for myself, but also just to see what goes on one of these events, which yeah, I guess not many people get an insight into. My race shoe for the day is going to be the Pro 3, so I want to do my last threshold session in it in terms of familiarity, also in terms of just blisters and making sure that this fresh pair fit. I've done about 170, 180 Ks in the zebra colorway. They've been completely fine, or not fine, they've been great. I've really fallen in love with this shoe. So yeah, just making sure that this is feeling the same underfoot. Sometimes there can be a bit of variation in terms of the upper shape or whatever else, considering this was an early pair, like this came before it released. But yeah, I've already done a 6x800 meter session on Tuesday. So I think we're gonna be okay. I'm a really big fan of this asymmetrical ONIHAYAI colorway, kind of reminiscent of, I guess, what Puma did a couple of years ago. I really like it, especially when it comes with matching kit. I'll actually get that out and show you. I usually am someone who really appreciates symmetrical things that match up very nicely, but I think I like matching kit even more. So the fact that you get the color coordinated shoes and kit, chef's kiss. So yeah, 10-minute threshold. I think we're going to be aiming for somewhere around 3:30 pace. I'll just check my little app. 3:30 pace for 10 minutes, get the heart rate up a little bit. And then we've also got 4 30-second hard efforts after that, with 30 seconds recovery in between that. So just trying to get the legs turning over, keep them fresh, which so far I think has been working quite nicely. So my flight tonight, as I said, leaves at 12:15 in the morning. It's Thursday the 20th right now. So we're going to be aiming to get to the airport at around 9:45, well before my flight. Pretty inexperienced traveller overall. I probably haven't left the country properly since I was about 12 or 14, maybe 14, maybe even 15. It's been a while. It's been at least 6 or 7 years since I've left Australia officially. I did a trip over to Christmas Island at the end of last year, but that's still technically an Australian territory. Didn't need a passport, no kind of layovers or anything like that. So a little bit worried about that, just in terms of going to a country where English is not the first language, but it has been all put together by Mizuno. I'll be traveling with 2 or 3 of the other people who also work at Running Warehouse, who are going over as part of the retailer trip. So there's going to be like the influencer side of things, and then the retailers, people are going over there to inspect the product because they're buying from Mizuno. So yeah, I'm kind of in that midway point where I work in running retail with these guys, but I'm also an influencer technically. Rightio, we're going to head off for that session. 3:30 right now. We'll have a swim at the beach afterwards probably, before we have some dinner, and then yeah, do my last check of my pack and then head off. 2K warm-up done, into the 10-minute segment. It's actually quite warm. I might duck to the beach straight after this, honestly. Rightio, we're going to jump in for a cheeky swim before we head back up and continue packing. It's actually still quite warm. I'm sweating a fair bit after that. Hit the paces that we wanted, about 3:30 average. Pretty happy with that. The 30-second little pace pickups went well too. I think that was overall a confidence boost, which is always nice. Last kind of mini session before the race. Oftentimes those kind of taper sessions can be a bit of a double-edged sword. They can either be, you know, great for your confidence, you feel fresh, or they can get you worried that you've left the taper too late or gone too early and you're starting to feel stale. That one for me shows me that the fitness is there. Sure, the legs are a little bit crispy, but I think there's definitely some good leg strength to be had once we actually step up to the race line. In terms of the Pro 3s, I'm really starting to love these shoes. Like, I think there's something to be said for being able to train consistently in the same pair of shoes for 16 or 17 weeks. Like, I think, especially for me personally, like as someone who reviews shoes, I often don't spend more than 2 or 3 weeks in a pair of shoes consistently. Often it's kind of, you know, ducking in and out, getting a few experiences here and there before a full review. And I think that especially for such radical shoes like the Pro 3 or the Cielo X1, Alpha Fly 3, can often be to the detriment. I feel like you definitely need to learn to run in some of these big, tall racing shoes. And if you're just chucking it on once every so often, I don't think you get the opportunity to kind of learn how to get the best out of them. So that's definitely something to think about if you're sampling these shoes. Is firstly, there is going to be shoes that just don't work for some people, but if a shoe does feel pretty good, how much better is it going to be if you can learn the foot strike, the kind of, you know, the leg turnover speed that you need to really maximize how good the shoe feels for your purposeful race distance. It's going to be a massive contrast going to Osaka. I can already see it. 6 degrees is the forecast maximum for the next week or so. And yeah, it's about 33, 35 degrees here in Perth today. And it's probably been about, yeah, probably an average of around 39 to 42 degrees back home on the farm in Mora, 2 hours north of Perth. So yeah, it's going to be a big temperature shock, but I'm very keen for some cool weather for racing. It's been a bit of a problem for me in the last year or so, the heat. I think I overheat quite quickly. And so if the race conditions aren't like 10, 12 degrees kind of thing, I do often end up feeling like I'm cooking by the end of the race. So 6 degrees, I'll have no excuses. Okay, we're back from the beach. Gonna run through some of the more important things that I'm packing for my trip, aside from the boring obvious. Probably most importantly is gonna be my race kit, Pro 3, and the singlet, shorts, socks, which I'm going to bring with me on my carry-on just to make sure nothing goes wrong. You hear a few stories about people going on ski holidays, suitcase gets lost, left with nothing to use. So yeah, going to keep these ones close, make sure they come through. We had a choice between a singlet and shirt. I actually think both look fantastic. This is the shirt, obviously matching with the shoes, which I think is brilliant. And then the singlet here as well. Probably leaning more towards the singlet, just in terms of freedom of movement. I just seem to prefer singlets overall, able to just swing the arms a bit more freely. Also got a pair of race shorts here, maybe a little bit shorter than what I'm used to. I might see whether I can grab a 3.5 or 5 inch pair, probably 3.5 when I'm over there, but if not, these will do just fine. Also, a bit of a new inclusion is going to be arm sleeves and gloves, and I might try find a hat or a beanie when I'm over there, maybe. So yeah, obviously going to be very cold, not taking any chances, never had to wear any before here in WA. It's probably one day a year when you could actually justify using something like this, so we'll chuck these on for the first 10-15 Ks and see how we go. Could wear them for the whole race, might take them off halfway, but yeah, just want to play it safe. Got some matching socks, so red and blue again, big fan of that coordination. And then for my nutrition and hydration, going to take a run belt with me underneath my singlet. I've just got my Bix hydration belt, pretty generic, just one of those 3 slots elasticated run belts. I'm going to take a soft flask with me, one of the 250ml ones, and also take the water on course. And then in terms of my gels, chatted about a bit before, I'm going to be taking some Bix gels, both caffeinated and uncaffeinated, 40 grams, 200 milligrams of sodium, 75 milligrams of caffeine for the caffeinated ones. And then I'll also probably take a pure gel just for taste, change things up halfway through. And then I'm also going to bring one of the precision chews just for before the race as a bit of a carb pickup there. Also going to be taking some Bix performance powder and some electrolyte just for the days leading up, just to make sure that I have a bit of a safety net in terms of carb loading, making sure that I can get the amount that I want when I'm not really sure what I'm going to be eating over the next couple of days. So might take a scoop as I wake up, scoop as I go to bed, take a tablet or 2 of these daily, just to make sure I'm arriving at the race maxed out on carbs with the right amount of electrolyte in the system as well. Got my running sunnies as well. Not sure how bright it's going to be, but we'll take these as well just in case. Mizuno also sent over some other kit, which was very, very kind. So we've got like tracksuit set, some pants there, also a Mizuno top or Mizuno tracksuit top. So we'll have that as well. And then a running shirt, cotton shirt. So I'm assuming this is what I'm going to use for maybe the shakeout run or one of the runs over there, and just casual use. And then I've also got like, jackets and jumpers and long pants, of which I don't own very many, but yeah, we're going to take those over too. They also sent over some Wave Rider 27s, which I think is just going to be for maybe the shakeout run, or just, again, casual use, wearing them around. I think this colorway looks pretty nice. Smart casual, not smart casual, sports casual. And then also something that's really grown on me, the MXRs. Bit of a dad shoe vibe, but yeah, I'll wear these onto the plane, because yeah, comfortable. I think they actually look pretty good. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to be bringing with me. I've got an empty cavity in this suitcase, ready to buy a few pairs of shoes while I'm over there, because I know that things cost a little bit less in Japan, and there's also a few models over there which we don't get in Australia. So I've got my eyes on a couple like the Wave Rebellion Pro Low, so the same foam as the Pro 3, just a little bit shorter in the heel, a little bit more kind of, I guess it's the kind of Vaporfly Alpha Fly equivalent. So this is the Alpha Fly. Wave Rebellion Pro Low is a little bit more nimble, a little bit more grounded. So I'm going to try grab a pair of those. I also want to see if I can find the Wave Rebellion QTR, or is it the Dual Pro QTR, the one with a really aggressive heel cutout. I'll flash a picture on screen. I want to see if there's a few pairs of those knocking around. And I've also seen the ASICS S4 Plus, which is their kind of long distance, slower runner marathon racing shoe, which is pretty much what I said the Magic Speed 4 should have been in terms of top layer of flight foam turbo, bottom layer of EVA, carbon plate embedded. Want to grab a pair of those as well, and also just see what they have over there. I'm also pretty excited by the prospect of Chinese brands, because we just don't have any in store in Australia. The retail presence for running stores is pretty low, so I want to go over there to some of the bigger stores and see whether they've got like 361 Degrees, X-Step, Leaning, Chowdan, BMAI. There's a few over there that I want to check out, but those 3, probably the first couple that I'm going to check out. So yeah, got plenty of room for a cheeky shoe haul as well. Got myself a cheeky book to start as well. Haven't read a book in about 3 years, so that's going to be good. Also got a pair of long pants for the flight. I'm going to start off in shorts because it's still about 30 degrees here, but I'll pack a pair of pants to change over. We're going to be flying to Hong Kong first, and then doubling up going to Osaka, so I'll change into these and some cooler weather gear once we're at Hong Kong. Come back to this back corner.
Oh, that's fast.
Double.
Have fun.
Will do.
Get the dog.
I'll get top 200, that's the goal.
How many people run?
36,000?
36,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, 53, 55, and this will be your final warning opportunity.
Oh, breathe it in. How fresh is that air?
I didn't pack my ciggies, but I need to.
Unreal.
Caught a bit of oxygen.
How good with real cutlery?
I feel like it's bizarre to have real cutlery after they scan your bag to make sure that you don't have real cutlery. It's like, oh, here, have a knife. Rightio, into the room. Nice and cozy. Check out the bathroom. Oh yeah? Little bath, yeah right. Reckon I might give that a bit of use after the race. Got some shoes on the bed as well. Program tour. Looks like I've been included as part of the retailer tour, I think, which I'm very keen on because I hope that it means that I get to have a look at a few more shoes, which is definitely what I'm interested in. Don't mind the look of them. They actually look sick. I'm coming around to this look, the suede. Very, very nice. Can't not try the Aussie lemonade flavour. We'll see what they're actually talking about. Look at that.
That's where the farm is, the containers.
Yeah.